say there's a Zoom glitch.
Yeah.
All right, welcome everybody. We are so excited to have you here for three reasons. This is, I think, well, one of the very few times that all the partners have collaborated. And when I mean all the partners, we've got CRR Africa, that's Klaus and Retrouvez here. We've got GCC, which is Linda Berlot. We've got Clark from Spain. We've got European countries represented. I don't know who's representing competence. We've got me from the UK. And also Gulsum when she arrives. We've got Gulsum from Turkey. So this is a partner collaboration. And we are so excited and welcome the ORSC community to be here. We're also here with Dr. Faith Fuller. Yay!
Oh, wow, I got the doctor this time.
I did. I knew I was going to get it in. She never said it, so I'm saying it. And it's to promote and talk to Faith about her new book, which I love, called Relationship Matters. So I know, Faith, you really don't enjoy a lot of introduction, but if I could say the three things I love about you, will that be a good way to introduce you?
I can always hear about what you love about me.
Well, what I love about you, firstly, is that you and Marita Friedjohn are the co-authors of this life-giving training that has transformed all of our lives, called Organization Relationship Systems Coaching. It's true, you've given us a different language of being in relationship. I also love the fact that you were a founder and CEO of CRR Global, and that you chose to use the name CRR, which is Center for Right Relationship. And I know we're going to have a conversation around what right relationship looks like, because it's mentioned in your book. Can I say why I love that name? Is because of what you said in the book, which was that CRR has always been at the bleeding edge in terms of relationship as primary channel for personal and societal evolution. I mean, that is radical as it's going to get. So that was a bleeding edge, and we're still the bleeding edges working. And that's why we need to be the term you use, relationship warriorship, which again champions and calls us forth to really hold relationship as important. So that's what I love about you. You know why? Because every relationship that you're part of, you champion with your intellect, passion, and love for us to show up in our full selves. And this isn't written in any way. It's coming from the heart. Faith, every interaction I've had with you has always been about championing for us to really step into that role of relationship warriorship. So here we are having this conversation with you.
Thank you. And I want to just appreciate all of you who interrupted your day to come and spend a little time in community together, and also with me. And I also feel my heart beating. I don't think I've ever seen all the leaders, the current partners together either. So it does my heart good to see the globe sort of coming on board. Thank you so much for the work that you do, and for all of you out there. And Nari, a quick question. Is this an ORSC community, or are there people on here who don't know anything about ORSC?
We've invited the ORSC community, but there may be someone who's ORSC curious. Anybody here who's ORSC curious? When I look through the screen, hi, Peter, and hi, Leila. Is it Leila?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah. And please forgive us. There'll be a little bit of chat about ORSC stuff, and we are inviting you to leap along and figure it out as we go. And if you have a question, put it in chat or sing out.
And Faith, just before we go, shall we just do a quick logistic check-in? As most of you know, we're recording this call. So if you don't want your face to be in the recording, please switch your camera off, not on. And Faith had a request. If you're not in a noisy place, would you unmute yourself? Because she really appreciates hearing your ums and ahs and wows, you know, all the appreciation that comes. And
It's really hard to present in a dead space. It's hard to present in a dead space. So I want to feel you out there.
Yeah. And we're going to be together for 90 minutes, 30 minutes of it, which is the last part. We're going to do an open Q&A. And for some reason, if your question is not answered, we have created a Jamboard. I know Jamboard is going to finish soon, but I'm still not ready to let go. So we've created a Jamboard, and you can put your questions there and we can answer it in the next 24 hours if your question is not answered during the session. That's the only logistics I have, Faith.
Okay, well then let's go. Just to let you know what might happen on this call, Nari's mostly talked about it, but what I'm hoping for, my high dream for this call, is that it really is a community call. And what that means is that it's going to be about telling you a little bit about the book that's out, but it's going to also be an opportunity for all of us to dig in a little bit for some of our own virtual development, I hope. I'd like to create a space here where you can be as open about your issues in relationship and I hope to be that way with you, that we could get real and truly be in community. The other thing I want to say, and I'm trying to view it as a flirt, is that I will be stripy, a little zebra-y, as the sunlight comes through my blinds, and you can dream into that whatever you want. So I'm going to ask a check-in question that you can put your answer in chat or sing out. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the book and the topic of the call, which is relationship warriorship. Then we're going to go into breakout, as Nari said, and please don't leave us at that point. Sometimes people bail. It's like they want to hear the story, but they don't want to get down and dirty. Let's get a little messy and talk about our relationship challenges. Then we'll come back and we'll discuss it together. So here's the question I want to start with. Where do you struggle in relationship? This could be personal, or this could be professional. And I believe in what we call priming the pump. I'm happy to say a place I've been struggling in relationship lately is I've been harboring resentments. And I know that because I'll walk around and I'll be going in my head in some way, some little resentment I'm picking over, Marita and I used to call it going through the kitty litter box, of resentments. So that's a place I've been struggling in relationship, and I'd like to bring more relationship warriorship to that. So sing out, where are you struggling? You can put it in chat if you like, but where are you struggling? Withholding judgment in chat, boundaries, judgment. I'm in good company. Where else? And feel free to speak if you're not too shy. A brother I don't understand who's grown apart. Letting go, handling conflict softly. Values arguments. Lisa, is that your hand up over there? Please, yes, go.
Rose, you need to change your name. You've come up as Lisa.
Oh, sorry, Rose.
Remind me how to start. I forgot.
Just hover. I'll rename you while you're doing that.
Yeah. So go ahead, Rose.
Right. It was just to say, making clean requests and getting them met. Because my experience is when I make requests, I get ignored or invalidated and I feel restricted and all of that stuff.
Yeah. So I didn't hear you very well. So I think it was about having your issues heard. Did I get it right?
Making a clear request that somebody goes, yeah, I'm happy to do that for you. And which brings us closer, rather than my worry that making a request or setting a boundary is going to cause distance, resentment. Who does she think she is? That's asking for too much.
Yeah, and all that stuff rolling on. Thank you. Who else? Somebody else speak up so I can hear your voices. Okay.
Expectations that are not met.
I'm struggling with the relationship with my wife, actually. She had just surgery a week ago, and she's not very mobile. And she's not mobile, so I'm taking care of her, and that has bring a lot of tension between us. She's not
Yes.
feeling well.
There's a whole world wrapped up in that, in caretaking on both sides, isn't there? Yeah, yeah. And who else? Reacting rather than responding, listening to complainers.
Yeah, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think the most part I struggle the most is on how to manage trust when trust is broken. Dealing with
Yeah.
trust is really one of the things I struggle to also, like when it is broken, how to build it up, how to nurture it, how to really manage it is difficult.
Yes, and to recover. Yeah. Yeah, from losing trust. Yes. What else? I've got sitting and allowing for friends stuckness.
Harriet, you've
Other
got your
people's
hand up.
stuckness is really annoying, isn't it? Of course, we don't have any, but other people's stuckness is so annoying. Why don't they just get over it? Right there with you.
So for me, one of the areas that's happening at the moment is knowing when to let go redundant or shifted relationship and when to hold on to them.
Yes. Yeah, making those decisions. Yeah. Maybe a couple more.
Harriet, you've got your hand up.
Oh, okay. I'll lower my hand. Hi, Neri.
Hi.
It's really lovely to see you again.
Likewise.
I can relate to what everyone's put in the chat box, particularly letting go. Someone said to me once, everything I've ever let go of has got scratch marks all over it. And since Neri and I actually last met, whether it be virtual or in person, I've now in a relationship after 25 years. So there I am on literally, I don't know what the right word is here, but I am learning so fast about relationships. So I learn all the theoretical stuff and the coaching and some of the work I've done with ORSC, and now I've got it absolutely have day to day. I have to deal with it. So a relationship with a significant other is a different thing completely.
Yeah. Well, and thank you for that, Harriet, because I think a lot of the premise of what we're going to talk about today is about how relationship is kind of everything, and yet it gets, in many ways, the least amount of attention from us as human beings. I wanted to write this book because we already have two fantastic books by Frank and Marita and Rod and Marita about both leadership, creating intelligent teams, and systems-inspired leadership. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're about teams, and they're fantastic books. And as human beings, we need a book that's a little bit more for the average person on the street to talk about relationships. Because the premise that we hold is that everything is relationship. And the reason I say that is because think about molecules. Molecules and atoms attract, repel, or are neutral. Everything that is formed of these interrelationships between them. And then on the opposite extreme, you've got the great galaxies swinging around one another, connected by gravity and interacting in multiple ways. Everything is relationship. And yet, we don't really get any training about that. When we go to school, we're often trained very early on about how to work computers and tablets and math. We get mathematics, languages, all kinds of things, but nobody gets to go to Relationship 101 or a course on how to have a conflict skillfully, or how to get along with the opposite political party. We are not trained in these things. And yet they make up our day-to-day life, every single moment. And I am now so distracted by my zebra stripes, I'm going to just get up for a second and see if I can erase them a little bit. Okay, it's a little better. So, I wanted to write a book that was really about people who don't know anything about systems coaching, aren't coaches at all, but are struggling with their adolescent child or the neighbor that is really annoying them. So the book is a combination of things. It's got a little bit of tools and skills, but it's a lot about ideas, many of which you all will know, but some which hopefully will be fresh. It's also chock-a-block with stories. It gave me the opportunity to put in every case that I never got to talk about, well, not every, some of them, and every issue Marita and I have struggled with in our marriage, or maybe not every, but a lot of them. And to give a sort of loose 101 on how do you work with a relationship system. So it's got cases, stories. It's got some best thing about the book, and for me, is it's got really good quotes. If you don't do anything else, go through the book and look at the quotes. I think they're great. And it also has a very simple model for why relationship is evolutionary. If we can't learn to get along a little better with one another, we already are in very deep trouble. We don't know how to get along with one another because we weren't trained, as I mentioned. And if we now at this point aren't getting along in wars, and we've been doing that for forever, we also don't get along with nature. It's a very abusive relationship, frankly, I think. And so if we want to, frankly, survive, I believe, as a species and not destroy our world, we have to get better about it. Relationships have always been the side dish for most of us, particularly in our companies. What does relationship have to do with productivity and positivity? Well, maybe a lot. But I think if we don't make a change now, we're like a couple that are handcuffed together, and in the other hand is a knife. We can't get away from each other. We can't get away from climate change. But if we don't make a change, it becomes really easy to move increasingly into places where we cannot return from. We have all the tech in the world and science in the world, but we don't know how to be decent to one another. So that's what I hope you will find is not the solutions. It's too complex. Relationship is too complex. But to open the doors to what is a relationship in terms of systems. And how do I apply it to me? So this is going to be about ORSC on the street. Yes, teams, yes, communities, but ORSC on the street. How do I apply ORSC when I'm standing in the grocery line and there is an old lady counting out her amount of money in dimes? How do I apply relationship warriorship when my dog just bit another dog in a public place? This just happened to me. What does it mean to be a relationship warrior? So let's look there and let's talk about what do we mean by that? Well, let me pause. Any immediate question, or I'm going to be getting into the next layer in just a minute. So last chance to sing out before the next little bit.
I think, Faith, if you're inviting, then often when we talk about relationship systems intelligence, we talk about us being with others, but it's also so applicable for me being with myself. A lot of that complexity, the dynamics, the not understanding myself is the beginning of confusion in that relationship system. And I find it also helpful also navigating this system here, which is complex in itself.
Right. In fact, I think that's one of the first places that we go in the book, is that relationships come in what we call three sort of holons or categories. There's the me system, Klaus. That's the first relationship system. And if you don't think you as a person is a relationship system, just think about the last time you had an argument with yourself. We are a gemstone with our own character of integrity, personality, but we have so many facets of self, so many aspects of roles and jobs and characteristics, and they don't always get along. So the first system is the self, and how do we learn to have right relationship with that? And then the second system is you and me. So Faith, with all her complexities and facets, needs to be able to reach out to Klaus with all of his complexities and facets, and things get complicated really fast. Fortunately, we have the third entity, the relationship itself, which can integrate those different selves. And the third holon or level is, of course, the we level. And the we level is any more than two people with all of the complexities where every person is representing a different piece of the collective. So there's three levels in which to apply this. And we can begin relationship warriorship in any one of them. And depending on what your world is like, you will know the right place to begin, because those three qualities, me system, you, me system, and we, are like the three legs of a stool. If one leg is wobbly, if I am in complete conflict with myself, it's hard to be skillful with you. In a similar way, if my team is in chaos, it's going to impact me as a CEO, or it could go back and affect my marriage because there's difficulties in my life. These things are interrelated. And the model that we propose is the mission of ORSC really is, how do we evolve as people through relationship? And because we need to now. The path is relationship warriorship and also relationship systems intelligence. Relationship warriorship is the heart, the motivation, the inspiration to do our work in relationship. And anybody who's on this call had that call, or you wouldn't be here. It's like, how do I bring my most profound self to working in relationship and applying the tools of relationship systems intelligence? So relationship warriorship is the heart, relationship systems intelligence tools is the means. And then the final place that we're going is the goal, and the goal is right relationship. And what I've come to love, although I hated it in the beginning, what I love about right relationship is, what the hell is right relationship? What does that even mean? And you know what? After, I don't know how many years, Nari, that we've been doing this, 15, 20, I don't remember, a lot. We have no idea what the definition is. Because right relationship is contextual. So if my teenage daughter comes in 2 hours post-curfew because she broke up with her boyfriend and she's devastated, is it right relationship to stick to my curfew rules? Is it right relationship to sit down while she cries with her? What is right relationship? Is right relationship setting that boundary? Is right relationship caretaking? Is it working on myself? Is it making a fuss? Is it changing the word? What is it? It's always contextual and changing. And so we have to wrestle with that goal, right relationship, every time to try to determine what is it in this moment. And what it is in this moment isn't going to be the same as what it means in the next moment. So let me pause. Any comment before I do the next bit?
Philippe, you've got your hand up.
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you, fascinating all this. I had a conversation with somebody in the UK that does a PhD around the concept of self. And as a relationship warrior, I was effectively saying, I'm not sure there is a concept of self, because the self is always in relationship. At the end of the day, it's always in relationship. And even if the perception of self, it's in relationship to how the world is making you, or how you're making of the world. I mean, everything is in relationship.
Yes, yes, I 100% agree with you. And yet, there is a third entity as well. So I'm constantly reacting and interacting with others. And yet, I think about my aunt when she was dying of Alzheimer's, who was all over the map, needless to say, mine all over the map. And yet, and her name was Mabel, believe it or not. Who's named Mabel anymore? And yet, Mabel was Mabel. Philippe is going to be, there's a sense of Philippe-ness, that is the third entity of all those interactions. Somehow, both are there. And I think it's part of the mystery, but I couldn't agree with you more. Is there a self when we're always shifting in relationship? Thank you. So let's talk a little bit more about what relationship warriorship is, since that's going to be the primary topic for today. We're defining relationship warriorship, and in our courses we sometimes call it spiritual intelligence, but that triggered all kinds of people for all kinds of reasons and got all mixed up with religion and I don't know what all. And so for the sake of this book, I'm calling it relationship warriorship, and we've gotten a little better about understanding what that might be. And for me, it is the heartfelt commitment to personal evolution through relationship. So, we go to the gym, we change the oil in our car, and we take our vitamins, but we don't usually sit down and do an analysis of what just happened on my team. It just went to hell in a handbasket. What just happened on my team? What is the heartfelt commitment I can bring to trying to understand what just happened? What's the me system in that? What am I responsible for? What's the you and me? Maybe my difficulty with my vice president is blowing up in front of the team. What's the we, the discomfort, what is it that's trying to happen inside the team? So relationship warriorship is saying, I want to know, I want to develop, I want to understand better. And that's it. And the good news is you are already doing this. If you're here today, you are already been practicing relationship warriorship. You practice relationship warriorship every time you say, I'm sorry. Or this one kills me. You were right. Or I don't understand here. Anytime we start taking radical responsibility for ourselves in a situation, we are practicing relationship warriorship. So you are already doing this all day long, and I want you to take credit for it. I want you to say, you know what, I crossed an uncomfortable edge and got over my ego for a moment to work my own evolution and that of the situation. And I did the best I could. That's a moment of relationship warriorship. You're already doing it. I just want it to be more visible for all of you. So thoughts, questions. Oh, this is really important. People say to me, and I understand it, they say, why do you call it warriorship? Why relationship warriorship? That's an aggressive term. And it's true, but the reason I picked that word was for several reasons. One is I think of it as being more in terms of almost like martial arts. It's a workout. It has heart, commitment, discipline. But not only that, in relationship warriorship, the enemy is not me, and neither is it you. The enemy is never you. The enemy is never me. The enemy is ignorance. The enemy is ignorance. What we are trying to do is slowly become more aware, awaken, get more skillful. So no enemy over there that I attack, but a profound curiosity and desire to dispel the ignorance of my own and our situation together. So I want the fierceness of relationship warriorship, because you know what? Relationships are hard. They're called the difficult yoga. It takes some oomph, some commitment to do it. But always remember, you're not the one, it's not an issue of blaming. It's an issue of what's my responsibility? How are we together responsible? How do we dispel the ignorance of the situation? So let me take a pause. And if I miss your question, forgive me. But comments?
I have one comment. We here in this room have worked with ourselves not only in systems coaching, but most probably also in individual coaching, or we have been doing some work. Sometimes when you establish a relationship with somebody that has not worked that much, you have to actually do a lot more than what you were supposed to do with somebody that has worked. And the risk is that the other person might say, wait a second, don't do your coaching thing. I know you know too much, right? Or they demand you to be so much coaching that you have to take everything. Doesn't matter, right? So there's a trap there. On both sides.
There really is. Relationship is one damn trap after another. Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. So if you could imagine that first of all, they're slightly different, but one where somebody's saying, don't coach me. What's the personal relationship warriorship for each of us? And it's different for each of us. For me, relationship warriorship might be, well, I blew that one. How is there a way I can express myself differently? Or was I being arrogant or, dismiss? What did I do in this situation? Just a question, being curious. What might it be for you, Alonso, in that case?
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. That's a good yeah. It's just that when there's tension, it's hard.
Oh boy, yeah. I mean, it's so funny because as coaches and also as people that are doing our best in relationship, I used to think we always had to talk about everything. Otherwise, we weren't engaging, or solving it. But especially in partnership with both myself and Marita can be reactive. It's part of the thrill of our relationship, it's intensity. And over the years, for me, sometimes relationship warriorship is closing my mouth and going off and getting my internal system together first. Marita and I often can have fights where our eyeballs are popping and spittle is flying and, it's exciting. And then we sort of go off and, well, that wasn't very successful. And we do our work, our internal work, and come back. And you know what? Next time around, we can recover and do better. So don't expect it to look pretty and don't expect to get it right off the bat. The point of relationship isn't necessarily resolution. It is recovery. Blow it, lose it, and some things take constant, perpetual problems involve one recovery after another. So I just want to say, I wish it's not easy and it's different for every person. But the point of relationship warriorship is after you've blown it the 13th time, you get up and try again. So get up, blow it, learn. Relationship warriorship is about learning through questioning myself and the situation. And then recover, come back the best you can for the next learning. What do you think, Alonso?
Yeah, it sounds great.
I wish it was easier. Yeah.
And Faith, because this is such a beautiful segue, what if we put people in breakout rooms to answer the question, the beautiful questions you crafted, asking everybody, what does relationship warriorship mean for you? And how can it help you with the relationship that you are struggling with? Shall we do that? Is this a good time to do it? Great.
We can. Yeah. I'm going to segue one quick question. One, there's a few attributes I just want to arm you with as you go into that breakout. And, there's a couple of things that you need to start. Are you willing to look? Is the first question. Relationship warriorship starts with, are you willing to even look at what's going on, to engage in relationship warriorship? Second one, are you willing to reduce your armor? We all know what our armor is. Sometimes we need it. You never take off your armor in an unsafe situation, but nobody wants to be in bed with a suit of armor. It's like, where can you take a little piece of armor off so more can get in and you can learn more and grow more? So can you reduce your armor? Another one is, what's the opportunity here? Curiosity. It sucks, but what's the opportunity? So opportunity, armor, willingness. Just start there. There's a bunch more in the book if you want to know, but that's enough. That's 3 big ones right there. Thank you, Nari. So could you put the question in chat if you haven't already?
Lisa's just done that. So the
Great.
3 tips that Faith gave you, it's in the chat as well, and there's the questions. You're going to be in a breakout room. You'll in triads, so you'll have 6 minutes each. Enjoy your conversations. Lisa will send out little reminders for you to swap.
Thank you, everybody.
So
have
off
fun
you
out
go.
there.
John, we trust you, Linda. It's okay.
No, I wouldn't want to subject anybody to that view.
Okay.
And
Welcome back.
to say that I have to go. I have another commitment.
Okay,
But
thanks a lot, Clark.
Faith, it's been great to see you. Faith, where are you, Faith?
Let's see me if I can see you.
I don't seem to be on the screen. I'm here, but I don't for some reason. There I am. Yeah. Thank you, Clark. Love
It's
you.
great to see you. Good to
Bye,
get you on. Take good care,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Keep the conversation going. It's been great.
And thank you, everybody. We know for some of you it's very late and some of you had to drop off. Thank you for the ones who are staying. Faith, shall we do a quick debrief?
Yeah, I had a ball in my group. Let's talk. Tell us what happened. You can put it in chat, but we're dying to know what were some of the discoveries.
Oh God, it's so much.
Oh God, who said that? Oh God, there was so much. Let's hear more.
Anne-Marie said it, I think. No?
Anne-Marie, come on.
Hi, I'm walking the streets of London, so I hope it's not too noisy. Gosh, where to start? We had a fabulous group, and it was we didn't take the 6 minutes each, we just had a conversation really. But we were talking a lot about repair, relationship repair. And I was talking about, I'm going to stop walking because I'm getting out of breath. My business partner, who also happens to be on this call, and having those difficult conversations, and how I sometimes get reactive. I get triggered, and how I start to beat myself up, and learning to forgive myself for those moments. And then we were talking about how it's not about whether you make a mistake or say the wrong thing or react, but more about how quickly does it take you to repair the relationship. And and also about just forgiving yourself. Often it starts with just forgiving yourself, and then from there everything sort of moves from there. At least that's my experience. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that was one of the things that came up in our group.
I love it. I just want to say sometimes that's called the toddler meta skill. Toddlers learn to walk by falling down, 10,000 times. And the point is to get back up because you learn how to fall. That falling down learned.
Yes,
you don't have to spend too much time beating yourself up. Just recover.
Yeah. And also I can really see that trust gets built every time one of us falls down and we make that repair, there's more trust there actually. So yeah, just to really see that and appreciate that.
Love it.
Thank you. Shelley, you've got your hand up.
Hi. Hello, Faith. Thank you for bringing the conversation to us all today. So in our group, in our little trio, we had, interestingly, the same dilemma or challenge. And the challenge is that when is enough enough? Because sometimes it doesn't seem like ignorance when someone is not paying any, or there's mindlessness and disregard. So if I had to give an analogy, it's like if you said to someone, I'm allergic to garlic, please don't do that. Please don't put it in my food. And every time you go, they put it in your food, and you remind them and you make a request and you say, please, if you serve me garlic, I won't be eating it. And still they serve you garlic. It's like, what is that? So that's not, to me, that's not ignorance when someone is aware of what the problem is, but they still choose to do it. And the one in our group was saying that, is it that it's psychological inflexibility, maybe, just like the inability to take these requests and to do anything with it. So when we said, well, what's the story behind it? There must be a story in why they continue to keep doing this, even though you've asked and you've requested. But I don't know what the recovery is in that, or the learning, other than just limiting the amount of time that you spend with that person. And in all three of these cases, they were relationships that you are existing in the system, but it's like a family system. You can't really not be in that system. So you can't exit from the system.
Yes. Yeah. So I'd love to have a discussion about that. So when you can't exit the system and they keep on serving you garlic, what might relationship warriorship be? And go through the me, you and me and we. So me system, what might my relationship warriorship be with myself?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking all of us.
Oh.
Anyone, and you.
And you can put it in chat.
I'm just confused about where
I'll start out. These are not answers. I just want to say these are suppositions, possibilities. It's very difficult when you're in a relationship like family where you cannot leave. And yet, to whatever degree, I might need to stop eating dinner with them because they're going to give me garlic.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. But my ignorance is, feeling like why do I keep eating there? Not self-blaming, just sometimes it's impossible. You do have to eat an occasional meal there. But that might be a possibility. Other people, possibilities.
I would, as a we level, something that comes up is I would just come with an offer to bring dinner or order dinner and be in charge. So it's, coming to us.
Yes. And I think you're also implying there that it might be a family issue, a family discussion, or I don't know what the actual topic would be. So, but sometimes it might be the we system, like you need to sit down and do an intervention with somebody, everybody together on a we level. Because the you and me sounds like hasn't been working. Saying, don't give me garlic, isn't been working. So that's one leg of the stool, unless somebody else has a thought. There's me and there's we. What else? No answers, just possibilities.
Philippe?
I like this analogy of on something that's small as garlic being served and not liking it. And we're going to try everything to avoid the conversation and yet go to the meal or not go to the meal and make an excuse and so on. And to me, the courage of warriorship is to actually have that conversation. I don't like that. I just want to be together, but not with garlic.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
we make a mountain for having that very, very, very simple conversation. And sometimes I
And
see
what
that
if you've
where,
done that? So what if you've done that? Then what?
and that's the thing, sometimes we make a mountain of that conversation, and we don't imagine that actually the other people in the relationship are suffering the same thing, and we may just unleash the possibility of resolving it. And we make a mountain of the conflict we may create by breaching that conversation. But we never think about, actually, we may unleash solution because we're all waiting to take a step for that. To me, that's the warriorship and the courage in relationship.
Well, and I think I just want to bridge it just to say there is warriorship at every level. The me level is, did I bring it up or did I pretend not? And you're saying, I did bring it up. I met my own warriorship. I crossed the edge to confront the situation, and the other is unresponsive. So, you can, there might be ways of working it on you, me, but either I can remove myself if possible, or not, and live with the garlic, or I might have to say with everybody else, is everybody else eating something they hate here? And what do we need to do about that? Not an easy answer, but well, how does that land? Let me check.
Yeah,
What's the garlic trying to say? That's actually great. That's a great question.
And just for a moment, I know that everyone's noticed, but Marita's here as well. So welcome, Marita. Right in the middle of the garlic conversation.
Thank you, thank you. I have two tips that showed up on this call. The one is that I came on earlier and I told them to put me at the bottom of the page. So sometimes, as a spiritual and relationship warrior, I need to choose to go to the bottom of the page because somebody else needs to be at the top. And I'm sitting with the garlic question. It's like when I have garlic breath, I need to step away because I'm not fit for human consumption at that moment in time. So it's like, yeah. Good to see everybody, and good job, Faith.
Yeah. And I just want to say, because I don't want it ever to sound glib that we have an answer. These things are part of the painful processing of change, time, the impossible. So I don't want to make it sound like, oh, I have an answer for this really difficult personal situation. I think most of us know garlic eaters in our lives and solve it different ways. So, but I do know that there's always something for me to learn, and that sometimes doesn't feel like enough that I'm learning.
I think also there's a lot to be said about what should I do or what should I say. But I think it's also about how am I coming across when I'm doing what I'm doing and saying what I'm saying, and how does that feel in the we? And am I having the impact that I'd like to have on the emotional side of the disparity or whatever it is? I think that can sometimes move as much as the words or the actions.
I'm just sitting here with such a great comment of what is the garlic trying to say. I realized there is something in there. What is the garlic trying to say or do? What's the garlic trying to do? Is it injure? Is it they're insecure and they're triggered? Is it they don't know how to do anything else? What is it? I got curious. Again, not a solution, but what the hell is the garlic doing? What's that side? And what's the third entity say? I know my position, don't feed me garlic. I know your position, too bad, I'm feeding you garlic. What's the third entity got to say about that? Just being curious. And I wanted to check in. I'm sorry, somebody brought it up and I can't find her on the screen right now. Who brought that issue up?
So David.
It is me.
Yeah. How's all that landing as discussion?
It is because I think there's often a message. We're so busy focusing on the solution. If you're curious about if the person is repeatedly doing that, what is the message that the person cannot convey? If we were to give a different voice to that particular person, and you're repeating the behavior, what if that's a cry? And it's curious questions. What if that's a different way of communicating that is not the way we communicate? So there's a message in there. Why are you repeatedly doing that? What is it? What are you actually trying to say? What is the message? What is the voice that's wanting to be heard? What is trying to emerge from that particular interaction, and especially with repeated interaction?
Yes.
Because
Well
we
said.
tend to always find the solution, but we have to spend time and ask, what does it mean to that particular person in the relationship?
Yes.
And the skills that the person might have and the level of awareness or engagement might not be at, we might be missing each other. So if you say judgment, or yes, we've had different experiences, but it's about listening to each of the voices in the system and giving them equal scope before reaching an alignment or then having a discussion. Or there can be a non-alignment. So what? That's also acceptable in a relationship. It doesn't have to align. So that's where the curiosity about that is. We tend to focus on the solution and the outcome, but giving each person an equal voice and a chance of expressing is, what if it's just, I want to be heard? You keep coming here for this bloody meal. Nobody's taking notice of me. So you don't take notice of me, so I'll feed you the garlic. Now you'll take notice of me. What if it's at that base level? So yeah, just a thought.
Thank you.
Faith, I'd like to build on that. So what is the message behind the garlic? And it reminds me of the conversation we had in our group about intentions. So when we say relationship warriorship, are we assuming best intentions from all sides? And if anyone, or let's take myself, don't necessarily trust in the other's good intentions, that's my stretch. How am I able to be and step into relationship warriorship?
Yeah, I have I'd love to answer, and I'd want to hear from others first. Well, let me start with another question. Do people always have good intentions in relationship?
No.
No, I don't think so. So what is the relationship warriorship, or the awareness that comes with that? Help me out with this.
But I would say one would always assume positive intent. Before you look at look for the positive. There's an understanding that yes, things are not always positive, but often in that learned behavior or responses, I always question and think, is it a different way of communicating? Or people have not been exactly that. We weren't taught to communicate. So my default position is that. So your perception is that my intention is not right. But is it a perception or is it a truth?
Does malice exist?
Yeah.
No answers. Are there
Likewise.
situations where there is malice? The intent is to hurt you, kill you, shut you down. The relationship warriorship is asking these questions. What do you think?
Put on your armor.
Yeah.
Is it at least at one end of the relationship or in the middle? And is it a threat put into the relationship or a protection that the end is trying to bring into the relationship for themselves?
And we discussed maybe in order to be able to say yes to relationship warriorship, we might need to say no to other things.
To
other things, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Including relationships, maybe.
Yeah.
I think part of being a relationship warrior is definitely saying no to certain things and being able to voice that and distance yourself from certain behavior. I'm thinking of abuse, for example. Never well intended. It's definitely unacceptable.
Yeah, I don't have, again, no answer to this, but sometimes, relationship warriorship is for me to realize I've been banging my head on this particular relationship issue now for 15 years. It's time to leave. That's my warriorship, to give up on my denial or whatever, or, and again, I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm saying we have to look. Because is there such a thing as malice? I think ultimately there is ignorance, and ignorance gives rise to malice somehow. So I agree with that, but I do think sometimes we need our armor. You're right.
And Faith, I just wonder, in terms of the concept of malice, is that inherent in the relationship itself, or is that at the individual level? Because with the intelligence of that relationship, would it even invite the malice? Is that how the relationship is? I mean, I don't see the third entity necessarily breeding that, because otherwise, why would we get into relationship in the first place? So what Sarah is saying in terms of inherently, I think there is a sense of that relationship wanting to foster. Or is it just my naivety that I am thinking that possibly that a relationship would not be born naturally out of the wound?
What do you think?
Question.
This is relationship warriorship right here, not always having the answer. I think, Carolyn, one of the things you're saying is can a third entity be inherently have a character of malice?
Yeah.
What do you think? Don't have an answer. What do you think?
I don't know if it's the answer, because I'm taking the analogy of the garlic in my own personal relationship that I'm struggling with. But then where I'm aiming for is to cleanse myself, in a sense of not having the achiness when I see the other person, or, even with repeated things that have been spoken out or that I've spoken about. So my struggle now is to reach to that element of letting go and forgiving, despite the continuous or the perpetual things, and being clean in that way. And whether they change or not, I'll leave it up to them. At least I can only focus on what I can control, which is me ultimately.
I like what you're saying, Ophelia, also, just because my sense is that I know, it's like the scorpion story of a scorpion is a scorpion. Its nature is to sting. My intelligence there may need to be to recognize that is the nature of that situation, stings. And they, require my own armor or whatever. People are at different developmental levels in terms of their own skillfulness with their own trauma and wounds. Yeah.
And Faith, and I love what you're bringing in, is that we don't have to solve every problem. And this is about being curious. That's what it is. Yes. Yeah. And we do have 5 minutes left, and I'm sorry that I'm the task mistress to say that. And knowing that we've got Marita here as well, we'd love to hear your voice, Marita and Faith. And maybe just a few words from you, Marita. Hi, how are you?
We get my mute off. Hi, Nari, and thank you so much for hosting this and celebrating Faith's book. I think that the book that she wrote probably is, it certainly is her work, but it also is one of the clearest manifestations other than the courses and the trainings of the legacy that our third entity brought to the world. So I'm so grateful that she created that which is differently user-friendly to us on the street and in the dining room and in the bedroom as well. So yeah, just it's an enigma, and love to sit here with Faith and sit with all of you. And thank you, Nari, for letting my part of the third entity show as well. And a lot of what Faith is talking about and writing about, I promise you, comes from the places where either one of us or both of us had eaten garlic and we couldn't stand being in close contact with one another. So just know that in the end, it wasn't a toxic third entity, so we could survive it together and grow.
Well, and what you're pointing to also, Marita, is relationship warriorship of staying with perpetual problems.
No, stop it, Faith. No, don't talk about our perpetual problems.
Yeah, well, no, not your. Everybody's got them, darling, and we're no different, thank God. The bottom line is discernment. When do you stop eating over there? When do you suck it up and eat the garlic? When do you decide you need the garlic and you just resist it? If we can, relationship warriorship is living in the question.
And I think one of the best lessons that we can leave you with is how we failed and succeeded from failure. There's a sticky note on our refrigerator door that says, "Find right first." We failed miserably about that one. And then there's a saying that it's a little version of the garlic, that when I am in a bad space or a bad mood or whatever, I will get up and go to Faith and say, "I'm leaving to take the dog for a walk, or I'm going for a ride because I'm not fit for human consumption. Can you smell garlic?" And because if I stay in front of her, it will become about her. So that's the space. When do we need to know that we can, yes, it's available in audiobook, when we can step away and need to step away, otherwise it will be offensive to our partner.
Yeah. Can I just say the book is amazing. Even if you go as far as the first 22 pages, it's extraordinary. It'll open up your heart and your minds, and really, my recommendation is please get it. Really, you'll get to understand the whole garlic issue much better. But also, I know we have just 2 minutes to go, and for some people it's very late. I'd love to close this session to say one word of gratitude. And really specifically, I do want to target it at the third entity, that's Faith and Marita, because without them, most of us, and nearly all of us, would not have the skills to be in right relationship, however that looks. Please don't do it in the chat. Invitation is, it'll be recorded, and I invite you all to unmute yourself and say it to their third entity.
Grateful.
Gratitude.
In love with the third entity.
Life.
Big love.
Hope.
Courage.
Inspired.
Support.
Honestness. That doesn't exist, but yeah.
Authentic.
Love.
Free.
Sincerity.
Unity. Confidence.
The relationship kitchen.
Enriched.
Generous challenge. Oh, sorry, Chris.
Human evolution.
Embrace.
Detox.
Generous challenge.
Inner courage.
Thank you.
Warriorship. I think that's what you imported. So
Raphil, you are so right. That is exactly what they embody, their third entity. All of you are partially right. Who said that? I just really want to thank you both and thank everybody for being here, and look forward to doing it again. Faith and Marita, I hope you're up for it.
Don't forget,
Very
you're already
thanks to
doing
you.
relationship warriorship. You are already doing it. Give yourself some credit.
Yay. Pat yourself on the back.
Pay it forward, pay it forward, pay it forward. Take it to the street.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Nari, do you want to stay on, Nari?
Bye.